Hi again, everyone. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Ask the Author. Last time we were together, we discussed dopamine and validation. And today what I want to do is I want to build upon that and really talk about the essence of what I think is really important, and that is the difference between influence and manipulation. There's a lot of definitions out there that people have about manipulation, and this one that I really embody the most is manipulation is basically where it's a win-lose scenario. You win and the other person loses, and that is what I don't like at all, and that's what I think is extremely ineffective in the long term. Certainly there are high-pressure sales tactics where you just want to sell something and you want to bully someone into purchasing something or doing something. And I'm not saying those things aren't effective and the tactics aren't effective, but what I'm saying is that you're not going to build trust and you're not going to build a long-term relationship with an individual doing that. The premise I like to go from is that of influence. And influence is all about you win and I win. And in the morning, there's no buyer's remorse for having met you or having purchased a product from you or ever having encountered you. So the difference between influence and manipulation is pretty simple, really. In a manipulation scenario, what you're doing is you're putting your needs and wants ahead of the other person's. As a matter of fact, you don't even really care about what the other person needs or wants in any situation, because it's all about you, which is the opposite of what I always try to teach in my books and in my courses, is that it's not all about me, it's all about them or you. And that's where influence comes in. In influence scenarios, what you're doing is you're trying to identify those things that the other person values, those things that the other person enjoys, those topics of conversation the other person likes talking about. And you do those things first. You look at what their wants and needs are, and you place them ahead of your own. As I like to say to the people I train, we all have desires and agendas when we engage people, whether it's, I'm just looking to find out about your family, or whether I'm trying to sell you something, or whether I'm just looking for some information. But the key to influence is you take your needs and wants and you put them back here, put them behind you. We'll get to those eventually. Because basically, if you're exercising great influence and you're validating the other person, you're getting their dopamine flowing in their brain, their needs and wants be met first ahead of yours. And they're going to be so grateful in their mind and psychologically that at some point during that conversation, whether it happens in 5 minutes, whether it happens in 2 hours, whether it happens a week down the road, they're going to say, Robin, what can I do for you? You've been so good to me. How can I help you? What are you looking for? And it's at that point when they're empowered with a choice as to how to engage you, that's when the trust is built. And that's when your agenda will get met as well. But having patience and putting everyone else's needs and wants ahead of your own, that is what influence is. You know what you want, just put it behind you. No one cares right now. Just make it all about them first, and you will embody trust. You'll develop great rapport. And the most important thing, whether you're in sales or any other line of work, and that is referrals. Even if they don't want to buy your product, even if they don't want to agree to have a long-standing relationship with you or give you information you're looking for, at least they're going to walk away and say, man, I really liked Robin, he was a good guy. And so next time someone wants something or they talk about you, they'll say, yeah, I really wasn't interested in what he was selling, but I'll tell you what, he's a really nice guy. You ought to check him out. So that's what I think the core of influence is, and that's why it's much more effective than manipulation, because in any line of work, all the studies have shown it, the number one thing people are looking for is trust. And trust is not built through manipulation. Trust is built through influence, where you make it all about them. So I want to thank you for joining me this time, and be looking forward to my next installment coming up in a couple weeks again, and where I'll be answering more questions. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.